welcome back to our channel, our happy kitchen.
Okay guys, so we've been really busy over here at OHK working on Vance's first birthday celebration. It went off without a hitch, so today we are going to tell you how you can make your baby's birthday very special even in quarantine. First thing you have to do is you have to ask yourself, what is important to me? What's really important to me is number one, that our moms, our immediate families, were there when Vance was eating his cake and when we were celebrating. Because we live in Manila, Philippines, and they're in the United States, we use Zoom in order for them to be with us. We also are in an apartment where they don't allow visitors really, so we would have had to use Zoom regardless. Number two, I wanted to have really cute photos of the baby. He's not a baby anymore though, he's a toddler. So you'll see in these photos that I'm gonna show you here, they turned out super, super cute. So I will tell you exactly how I did that. And then number three, I wanted a really, really yummy, delicious, healthy smash cake for Vance to devour. We are going to talk about all of those things today. All right guys, here we go.
But wait!
What is this, Sel?
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell button so that you are always updated to our next videos.
Oh yeah, definitely do that. Okay guys, so now it's time to talk about our smash cake. So for ours, we are using a 9-inch cake pan. I love these pans because you can unbuckle this right off. So you could also make this recipe into cupcakes, or if you have a smaller pan, like say it's 4 inches, just divide our recipe by 2. The reason why I love this one is because it's super healthy. There is no white flour, white sugar, or butter in this recipe. For the frosting, it is just whipped cream that we whipped up. So you'll see exactly how we make this here. First step in creating your smash cake is you want to preheat your oven to 350. Then you're gonna take your pan and you need to make sure there's some butter on there first, and then you're just gonna dab a little bit of flour. This is gonna create it so that the cake doesn't stick to the pan. This is what I do, I just take the whole stick of butter. Okay, then you just wanna sprinkle some of this whole wheat flour on your pan like this. And just make sure to shake it up. Okay, and then just dump out any excess. Next step is to combine your dry ingredients. So the first thing we're putting in the bowl is 2 cups of whole wheat flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. And then we are adding 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Okay, so now you want to whisk everything together. Now we are going to add some ingredients to our blender here. So the first thing we're adding are 3 bananas. These can be your super ripe bananas. So as you can see, I'm using a couple of old looking ones. That's absolutely fine. It'll actually make it a little bit sweeter, which your baby will love. I love bananas because they're a natural sweetener. So anytime that I can replace any kind of sugar with bananas, as you saw in our ice cream episode, which I'll put the link up here, then I'm all about it. So here we go, more bananas. And then we have this one that's not super ripe, but we need 3, so we're using it. Okay, so next we are going to add 2/3 cup of applesauce. This one we got at the store. It's like an organic, unsweetened applesauce. You could also make yours from scratch at home by easily just like roasting or steaming some apples and then pureeing it. So we're just gonna pour this in. We're going to pour in a 1/2 cup of milk. This is whole milk that we're using. If you wanted it to be dairy free, you could definitely use a nut milk or a coconut milk. That would work fine. Okay, and then we're also gonna pour in a 1/2 cup of maple syrup too. This is gonna add a lot of sweetness to it. It's gonna be super good with this. It's way better on the glycemic index for you than sugar, maple syrup. So here we go. You could also add honey. When children are 1, they're able to eat honey. Anyone before that, I wouldn't recommend it. Okay, so now we're ready to add our 2 eggs into the blender. Now, since we're adding raw egg to the blender, you definitely have to make sure that your blender is thoroughly cleaned afterwards. And then lastly, we are adding our vanilla extract here. We're gonna add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Ready to blend this puppy up. Now we are going to mix in our wet ingredients with our dry. It's okay if it's a little bit lumpy like this. This is like pretty much done now. So you see how easy it is to make this cake? It's so easy. You only dirty a bowl and a blender, so it's not like a ton of mess. Okay guys, so we're ready to pour in our mixture into the pan here. So we're just gonna pour it in like this. Okay, so this is what it looks like. We're just gonna make sure it's all even, and we're going to stick it in, like we said earlier, for about 40 minutes at 350. So while we do that, we are going to stick in our blender, like our mixer things, these things. So the next step after everything's done with the cake, after it cools, we have to make our frosting. So a little trick that I learned is that you want to stick these into the fridge just to get nice and cold, because it's going to make your whipped cream even easier to whip and just better. So we're gonna go ahead and stick these in the fridge now. So after 40 minutes, our cake is done. We actually just took it out of the oven and let it cool down for a little bit, for about 20 minutes before we start doing the frosting. So to start out our frosting, I'm going to take the metal bowl that I was just chilling out of the freezer. So this is where we're gonna make our whipped cream. And then the egg beaters, I was chilling as well. So here they are. And this is gonna make it super light and fluffy. And also it is gonna make it a lot quicker to whip this up. Okay, so you're gonna take 1 cup of whipping cream and just pour that into the chilled bowl. Here we go, we're just gonna whip it good. And you're just gonna put it up to like 4 or 5. And you're just gonna do this for literally like 5 minutes. It's gonna bubble a little bit, and then eventually, I promise you will eventually see some peaks, like some soft peaks, and that'll mean it's almost done. I'm not gonna show you this for 5 minutes because it's pretty boring. It's done, so we are ready to ice our cake now. Dude, this looks so good. Here we go. Here's our cake done. The awesome thing about this pan is you just literally go like this, like a little buckle. And you could take out the cake here. And then to get it off this pan, I mean, honestly, I served Vance his cake with the pan still on. But you could also use just like a butter knife and go like the bottom like this. This cake smells so good. It smells like banana bread. So yummy. And it's like super moist. One thing to take note is that if you wanted your frosting or your whipped cream to be a color, you can definitely add some food coloring to it. I wanted to go for an all natural kind of look, so I went with just plain old white. So now super easy to ice this thing. You're just gonna take your whipped cream here and you're just gonna pour it over like this. Okay guys, there it is, a nice cake ready to be smashed. Mommy and Daddy are definitely eating some of this too. You could definitely put your little topper in that goes with your theme with this, or just serve it as it is and let them go crazy. And then have your camera and get ready to take some amazing pics. Okay guys, so now it is time to talk about how to make your party super cute for photos. So number 1, you want to set your scene and make sure you're in a room that has some great natural light that's coming through the side. You want it definitely like a white wall or backdrop where you can really play with it. Maybe you move like a painting or some art that you have hanging on the wall. Maybe you move a mirror. So this is where we created our scene for the photo shoot for the first birthday. So we actually did not remove this mirror. We just put the decorations on top of it. I did 2 rows of like a silver foil backdrop. This way you couldn't see the mirror behind it. And then I removed this lamp right here and removed this table, excuse all the clutter. I also wanted to make sure that this bookcase was not in any of the photos. So I either edited it out or I took photos where it didn't have it in the picture. And then it's dark right now, but you can see there's a huge window over here. So lots of natural light was coming in. We did the photo shoot at about 12 o'clock. So great timing for lots of light. You also want to make sure that your decor is all to a theme. Now it doesn't have to be like under the sea. It could just be a color theme. Like maybe you want all bright colors or blues or boy colors. For us, we wanted to go with a Mr. Wonderful theme. And so you'll see in our photos that we have a lot of silver, a lot of navy, and bow ties and mustaches. So even like the balloons had little like faces with mustaches on them. And we had a big mustache balloon, which we actually still have. See? Vance is using it as a new toy, so whatever will save me money. Okay guys, so if you're having trouble figuring out what your theme is going to be, you could do what I do and go to Pinterest, go to Google. You can use my theme and you can do like Miss Wonderful, or you can do Mr. Wonderful. I don't care, switch up the colors, do whatever you want to do. Of course, it's going to be unique because it's your baby and there's only one of your baby in the entire world. It'll be awesome regardless. Something cool that I did was I customized the happy birthday banner to have his name on there, which is Vance, so you'll see that. Everything is super inexpensive, or at least it is here. Like you could get so many balloons in the banner and the foil curtain, all that stuff. I think I paid like under $20 or 1,000 pesos for it all. Another thing that I would recommend doing for your photos is make sure your baby looks to theme or however you want them to look for their first birthday. So you want to pick out their outfit way ahead of time. You don't want to be scrambling the day before the event because it's just not gonna happen the way you want it if you wait till last minute. So for us, I wanted it to be like a little gentleman with his little bow tie and suspenders. So I borrowed that from a friend and then bought a cute little collared shirt and just used some pants that he already had. So that worked really well for us. And then of course I bought like a little cute crown that said 1 on there. And it all went really well together. I was really happy with it. And another thing decor-wise that we did was we bought a cake topper that was customized too, that said Mr. Wonderful. Did it say that, Sal? Mr. Wonderful? Yeah, I think so. And so we had it all pretty much to theme, but it wasn't like over the top. It was very simplistic decorations that just really went nicely together. The last thing that I want to talk to you about is how to shoot the photo shoot. It's been kind of like a hobby of mine since Vance was born to start taking photos of him, like with this big DSLR camera. One little tip though, if you're using one of these cameras, is you want to get like really close to the baby. Like don't rely so much on the zoom in feature. I would just like get up into when he's eating the cake or doing something super cute, you want to get up there and take some photos of his face. Also, it's really helpful for someone else to kind of like distract him like next to you and have maybe like his favorite toy or something you know he's gonna laugh at, and then you're right there with the camera, which is kind of obvious, but just thought I'd throw that out there. Another thing that I would do is I would definitely have him sit on the floor and like play with the balloons or play with the streamers. Also want to make sure you know how to use your timer feature on your camera, especially if you don't have anyone else with you besides you and your partner and the baby. So that you can get a nice family photo. So that's really, really important. Luckily we had Sel here that day, so she was able to take some nice family pictures of us. For me, honestly, the cake smash was the best part, and the messier, the better. Okay guys, that is it for our first birthday episode. We hope you enjoyed it, and the most important thing about a first birthday is that they're not gonna remember it anyway, so do whatever you want, because for the next bajillion years, they're gonna do what they want. If you want to have a glass of champagne to celebrate you and your husband or you and your partner making it 1 year, then go for it. If you want to play rock music the whole time, then do it. So whatever you want to do, you should customize it to your liking as well as your baby's or whatever you think they like, and enjoy the day. Thanks guys. Mwah.